You ever get this strange feeling, almost like your life doesn't quite fit you anymore? Everything around you looks fine. You've got the job you once prayed for, the friends you've had for years, the routines that used to make you feel secure. But for some reason, it all feels off, like you're living inside someone else's story, walking through a life that doesn't quite feel like yours. Maybe you've been feeling restless lately, like something is shifting inside you, but you can't put it into words. You look around at the things you used to dream about, the goals you used to chase, and instead of excitement, you feel nothing. Or worse, you feel trapped. And that can be terrifying, because you've built your whole identity around these things. You might even feel guilty. Guilty for not being as excited as you used to be. Guilty for pulling away from friends or plans. Guilty for craving something more when you should be grateful for what you already have. And then comes the self-judgment, the voice that says, "What's wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy? Why am I like this?" But what if I told you that nothing is wrong with you? What if I told you that what you're feeling right now isn't a sign that you're broken? It's a sign that you're growing? This is what happens when you outgrow an old version of yourself. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. It feels like everything familiar is slipping through your fingers. Because in a way, it is. You're shedding an old skin. You're stepping into a bigger version of your life, one that requires you to leave behind what no longer fits. Think of it like this. A snake doesn't stay inside its old skin just because it was comfortable once. It sheds it when it no longer allows for growth. A butterfly doesn't stay in the cocoon because it's safe. It breaks out even though it's hard, even though it's vulnerable, because its wings are ready, and you right now are standing at that exact edge. This process is not easy. It can feel like losing yourself. You might grieve friendships that fade, dreams that no longer excite you, habits that used to bring comfort but now feel like chains. But that grief isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's proof that your soul is calling you forward, asking you to build a life that actually reflects who you are today. So if you feel like you don't fit in anymore, if you feel restless, confused, or like you're being pulled towards something you can't quite name, you're not crazy. You're not broken. You're leveling up. And that's what we're diving into today. The 7 powerful signs that you're outgrowing your old life. These are the moments that can feel scary, even painful, but they're also the clearest proof that you are evolving into someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned than ever before. If even one of these signs resonates with you, take it as a message. This is your time. You are ready to step into the next chapter of your life. And it all starts with recognizing what these signs are trying to tell you. Sign 1. Your old goals don't excite you anymore. There's this moment that hits you quietly. You wake up one day and look at the dreams you've been chasing, the plans you've been so focused on, and suddenly they just don't do it for you anymore. The things that used to light a fire in your chest now feel flat, lifeless. Maybe it's that career you've been grinding toward for years. Maybe it's the degree you thought would define your future. Maybe it's the house, the car, the relationship, the life plan you thought would make you happy. You look at it now and feel nothing. Or worse, you feel resistance. And this is where most people start to panic. We've been taught to cling to our goals no matter what, to push through and stay committed. So when those same goals stop exciting us, we think we're failing. We think we're lazy. We think we've lost our motivation. But here's the truth no one tells you. It's not that you've lost motivation. It's that you've outgrown the person who set those goals in the first place. Those dreams were perfect for who you were when you made them. But you're not that person anymore. You've learned. You've seen more. You've changed. And that's a good thing. It means your soul is asking you to dream bigger, to realign your direction with who you are now, not who you were 5 years ago. It means you've reached the limit of what your old goals could teach you, And now it's time for a new challenge, a new mission, a new purpose. This shift can feel like grief, because in a way, you're letting go of a version of yourself you've carried for a long time. You're closing a chapter. But just like closing a book doesn't mean the story is over, this isn't the end. It's the beginning of something that actually matches who you're becoming. If your goals no longer light you up, don't force yourself to chase them out of obligation. Get curious. Sit with yourself. Ask what would excite you now, what would make you feel alive again. That's where your next step is hiding. Sign 2. You feel drained around certain people. There comes a point where you notice something you never used to feel. Being around certain people no longer feels light or fun. You leave conversations feeling heavy, tired, or strangely disconnected. You can't always explain why, but you know that something in the energy between you has shifted. Maybe it's friends you've known for years, people you love, people who have been part of your story for a long time. You still care about them, but the conversations feel stuck in the past. You keep talking about the same things, the same problems, the same gossip, and a part of you is silently screaming for something deeper. This is one of the most painful parts of growth, because it feels like betrayal. You start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why don't I enjoy this anymore? Why do I feel distant from people who mean so much to me? But here's the truth. Nothing is wrong with you. Your heart is just moving in a different direction. It's not that these people are bad or that you're better than them. It's that you're no longer in the same season of life. The things that used to bond you together might not align with who you are now, and that's okay. You might notice yourself becoming quieter in these groups, or even pulling away completely. At first, that space can feel lonely, but it's often necessary. Growth requires room. And if you're always surrounded by voices that keep you tied to who you used to be, it's hard to hear the voice of who you're becoming. This doesn't always mean cutting people off forever. Sometimes it just means loving them from a distance, creating a little space so you can breathe. And if someone truly belongs in your next chapter, they'll grow with you. They'll meet you where you are. So if you're feeling drained around certain people, don't ignore it. Pay attention. Your body is telling you something. Your energy is your compass, and it's pointing you toward the relationships, the environments, and the conversations that actually nourish you. Sign 3. Your habits clash with who you're becoming. At some point, you start noticing a strange tension in your everyday life. The routines that once felt comfortable now feel heavy. The habits that used to bring you pleasure or help you cope no longer sit right with you. You might still do them, but afterward you feel off, restless, frustrated, almost like you've betrayed yourself. Maybe it's staying up too late binge-watching shows when you know you crave a calmer morning. Maybe it's eating the same food that once felt like comfort but now makes you feel sluggish. Maybe it's filling every spare minute with distractions because you're afraid of being alone with your thoughts. This is the tug-of-war between your old identity and your future self. Your old habits were built to support the person you used to be. They were survival tools. They were coping mechanisms. They kept you safe. But now that you're evolving, those habits are starting to feel like a cage. And here's the important part. This doesn't mean you're failing at growth because you still fall back on those old patterns. It just means you're starting to notice the misalignment. That awareness is the first step toward change. Most people stay stuck because they never get to this point. So instead of beating yourself up for still doing the thing you know isn't serving you, try to get curious. What is this habit giving me? What need is it meeting? And is there a healthier, more aligned way to meet that need? This stage can feel uncomfortable because your old self is trying to pull you back into the familiar while your future self is calling you forward. That tension is actually a sign of growth. It means you're awake now. It means you're paying attention. And over time, as you keep choosing what feels right for the person you're becoming, those old habits will naturally start to lose their grip. You won't have to fight so hard. You'll just wake up one day and realize you no longer want the things that kept you small. Sign 4. You have less tolerance for drama and negativity. There comes a point in your growth where chaos just stops feeling entertaining. Things that you used to shrug off or even laugh about suddenly feel heavy, distracting, and unnecessary. The gossip that used to make you feel included now feels like poison. The arguments that once gave you a rush now just drain you. You start noticing how much energy it costs to stay involved in drama. You see how negativity spreads like wildfire, and you feel it sticking to you long after the conversation is over. It's like your whole system is saying, no more. We don't have space for this. This is a major sign that you're outgrowing your old life, because drama thrives on reaction. It needs people to feed it. When you start pulling your energy away from it, you take your power back. You're no longer letting yourself be pulled into every fight, every complaint, every chaotic situation that isn't yours to fix. And yes, this might make some people uncomfortable. They may say you've changed. They may even accuse you of being boring or too serious now. But the truth is, you're simply choosing peace over chaos. You're choosing clarity over confusion. You're choosing to protect your energy because you finally understand how valuable it is. This doesn't mean you'll never face conflict again, or that you'll never have bad days. Life is still messy, but you stop entertaining things that feel like noise. You stop handing your mental space over to things that don't matter in the long run. And when this happens, something beautiful opens up. Space. Space for deeper conversations. Space for creativity. Space for actual solutions instead of endless complaining. You stop wasting hours spiraling in negativity and start investing that time into building the life you want. So, if you've been feeling allergic to gossip, drama, and constant complaining, trust that instinct. It's not that you're becoming cold or distant. It's that you're protecting the version of you that's trying to grow. Sign 5. You experience periods of isolation. One of the most surprising, and honestly most painful, parts of growth is that it often comes with seasons of loneliness. There comes a moment when you just pull back. You stop texting as much. You decline plans that used to excite you. You spend more nights by yourself, not because you suddenly hate everyone, but because you need space to breathe. At first, this can feel scary. You might wonder if you're becoming distant or cold. You might feel guilty for not showing up the way you used to. And yes, there will be days where the silence feels heavy, where you miss the comfort of being surrounded by people, even if those people no longer feel aligned with you. But here's the truth. This season of isolation isn't a punishment. It's a cocoon. And just like a caterpillar has to retreat into darkness to transform, you need this quiet space to figure out who you are now. This is where the real work happens, in the stillness. You start hearing yourself clearly for the first time. You begin to notice what you actually want, what you actually feel, what you've been carrying for far too long. It can be uncomfortable to face yourself without distractions, but this is where you grow roots. And the beautiful thing is, this season doesn't last forever. The cocoon isn't permanent. It's a sacred pause between chapters, the space where the old you dissolves so the new you can take shape. So if you find yourself spending more time alone, don't fight it. Lean into it. Fill that space with things that nourish you, books that inspire you, music that heals you, quiet walks that clear your head. The people who truly belong in your next chapter will still be there when you emerge. And when you do, you'll be stronger, clearer, and ready to step fully into the life that's waiting for you. Sign 6. You start questioning everything. There comes a point in your journey where you look around at your life and start asking questions you never dared to ask before. Why am I really in this job? Why am I in this relationship? Do I actually believe the things I've been telling myself for years? Or did I just inherit those beliefs from my family, my culture, or my past? At first, this can feel unsettling, even scary. Questioning things can make you feel like the ground beneath you is shaking. It can make other people uncomfortable too. They might say you're overthinking or going through a phase. But what's really happening is that your soul is calling you to live more honestly. You see, questioning isn't rebellion. It's alignment. It's your inner compass waking up and asking, does this still fit who I am? It's a sign that you're no longer running on autopilot. You're paying attention. You're no longer willing to just accept things as they are if they don't make sense for you anymore. And yes, this stage can be messy. You might go through a period where you feel like nothing is certain. You may pull apart old belief systems and find yourself standing in the middle of the rubble, wondering what's true now. But this isn't the end of the story. This is the clearing before the rebuilding. The beauty of this stage is that it gives you the chance to rebuild your life on purpose, to choose relationships that actually support you, to build a career that lights you up, to create a spiritual or personal philosophy that feels true to your heart, not just what you were told to believe. So if you find yourself questioning everything right now, don't rush to cover it up. Sit with those questions. Write about them. Talk about them with people you trust. They are not a sign that you're lost. They are a sign that you're waking up. Sign 7. You feel equal parts lost and excited. This is the sign that often feels the most confusing, and honestly, the most emotional. You wake up one day and realize the old life doesn't fit you anymore. The places, the people, the habits, the routines, they all feel too small, too heavy, like a jacket you've outgrown but kept wearing out of habit. But here's the tricky part. The new life isn't here yet. You haven't built it. You don't even fully know what it looks like. You just know something inside you is pulling you forward, whispering, there's more. There's something different. Keep going. This stage is where most people panic. They either run back to the comfort of the old life because at least it's familiar, or they try to force the next step before it's ready. But the truth is, this in-between space is where the magic happens. It's okay to feel lost. Lost means you're no longer walking the old path. Lost means you've stepped into uncharted territory. And that is where growth lives. And here's the beautiful part. Along with the fear, there's also excitement. There's this quiet thrill, a deep knowing that something bigger is coming even if you can't see it yet. This mix of emotions is what transformation feels like. It's messy. It's contradictory. Some days you feel like you're on top of the world, ready to take on anything. The next day you feel like crumbling because you don't know what's next. And that's okay. You are allowed to feel both. You are allowed to grieve the life you're leaving behind and still be excited for the one you're stepping into. This stage is the bridge. You're in the middle of it now. Not where you started, but not where you're going either. And as uncomfortable as it feels, this is proof that you are in motion. If you're feeling lost right now, take it as a sign that you're exactly where you need to be. Stay patient with yourself. Trust the process. Keep showing up for your growth, even if it's just one small step at a time. Because one day, you'll look back at this season and realize this was the moment everything began to shift. The moment you stopped living a life that no longer fit and started creating one that truly does. You see, outgrowing your old life isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something is right. It means you've grown beyond the version of yourself that once felt safe. It means you've learned what you needed to learn from that chapter, and now it's time for a new one. Yes, it can feel messy. It can feel lonely. It can even feel like you're losing yourself. But what you're really doing is finding yourself. You're peeling back the layers of expectation, fear, and habit to uncover who you really are and what you truly want. So if you're feeling restless, if your goals don't excite you anymore, if certain friendships feel heavy, if your habits clash with who you're becoming, take a deep breath. This is not the end. This is your rebirth. Honor this season. Give yourself permission to step back, to reflect, to ask hard questions, to shed the parts of your life that no longer fit. You don't have to rush. You don't have to have it all figured out. All you have to do is keep listening to that quiet voice inside you, the one pulling you towards something greater. Because here's the truth. This is not just a transition. This is a transformation. This is you leveling up. And the life that's waiting for you on the other side of this discomfort? It's more aligned, more free, and more beautiful than you can even imagine right now. Take a deep breath. Everything you've been feeling, the restlessness, the confusion, the loneliness, it's not random. It's not a sign that you're lost forever. It's a sign that you are changing. You are outgrowing a life that no longer fits you. And yes, that hurts. It's supposed to. Growth always does. This isn't about running away from your life. It's about stepping toward the one you were meant to live. It's about listening to that quiet voice inside of you, the one that's been whispering, "There's more for you." Keep going. You might feel like you're losing everything right now, but you're not losing yourself. You're finding yourself. You're letting go of the version of you that was built to survive, so you can step into the version of you that's meant to thrive. If this video spoke to you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need the reminder today. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep walking your path. Thanks for watching.